I'm Tulku Dorje, incarnate of the Buddhist Lama Chungdrag Dorje, and the only martial arts actor who can claim they're a god among insects, and mean it. Although my A-list career was dead for a while, it was reborn by giving TV a dose of reality. This time, even if my reality is too much for the world, there will be nothing to stop my quickening glory.
What heaven looks like, and then we will destroy it. Dorje. Dorje.
Mr. Dorje?
Tulku. Call me Tulku. So, you're here with my prescription. Isn't that what you script doctors call it?
Not exactly. No, I'm just here to discuss my notes with you, talk about a few semi-glaring structural problems and a few slightly, well, let's say extremely distracting formatting problems with what heaven looks like.
What are we talking about? Some typos? Grammar stuff? I know this is my first time ever writing a script, but it's leaps and bounds over anything that's ever been read to me.
Read to you? Do you ever read scripts?
Who has time to read scripts? I mail all my scripts to a monastery in Tibet. The monk reads them to me over Skype while I'm in a deep trance.
The story's all over the place. It's like Michael Bay's ball sweat dripped over a potpourri of Jodorowsky, the Wachowskis, and Tarkovsky.
Potpourri is good, right? It smells good, minus the ball sweat.
Actually, it stinks.
It's a work in progress.
I'm sorry. I'll admit, maybe my sensibilities are a little too commercial for what you're trying to go for here. There's another consultant I know about who has more of an eye for the avant-garde. Perhaps I could show your script to her. She owes me a favor.
Do you trust her?
Of course. Why do you ask?
That's actually my only copy of the script right now. Originally, I printed out 2. The other one I mailed to myself, you know, as a poor man's copyright. And, the thing about that...
What?
It got lost in the mail.
And no electronic record?
After I finished writing What Heaven Looks Like and printed out the 2 copies, I looked at my computer and realized it had achieved its one true ultimate purpose. It would never achieve anything greater. Out of pity, I smashed my computer to pieces. Hindsight 2020, that was probably a bad idea. It made sense at the time.
Sure you don't want to take it back and make another copy first?
I trust that it's safe. I've got a photographic memory of every word. I just would hate to have to type it all out again if it got lost.
We need to cut down this sex scene by about 5 seconds. Keep the side boob shot, but cut the full frontal. We need to keep this a PG-13 family film.
Tell me just what the fuck is going on in here.
Can we talk about this later, Frank? I'm a little preoccupied.
Last I checked, you're not the editor's assistant, you're my assistant. So your ass should be at the desk. I got you assisting me. That is, assuming you're not preoccupied.
You know what they say about people who assume, Frank?
You shut the fuck up. I'm the executive producer in this studio. Only I'm allowed to talk and think in cliches around here.
You ever stop to think that it's people like you who are ruining this studio, this industry, this whole art form?
Yeah, sometimes I think about that. But then I look at that set of numbers at the bottom line with the long line of zeros, and it really refreshes my perspective on things. things.
Oh, if only that bottom line can show us the full picture. You'd see how toxic your old Hollywood way of thinking is for the studio. The other studio had to see it, and they've made up their minds already. As I'm sure you're aware.
Well, that's why I have people like you around to tell me things.
Well, with all the time you spend casting movies from your couch and plotting your own death hoax, who can find any time at all?
So I'm being told by my assistant that I'm being fired in my own editing room, no less. And you work for me, not Hard Gains. What gives you the right to just loiter around in here?
Don't ask me. I just work here. All right? I'm an associate producer now. Just when I thought my master's in cinematic arts meant nothing in this frat house. And you still have your job. Studio heads want to keep you on as a consultant.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
Frank, the industry is changing. You had to know this day would come. I mean, with just one budget from one of your tentpole action extravaganzas with Tulku Dorje, we can make 10 indie romantic comedy films, distribute them on demand, and we'll go viral.
You see, it's people like me who are ruining this industry. Give me a fucking break.
So keep the side boob?
Keep the side boob.
Okay. Yeah.
Frank, you've cheated death twice. You owe it to yourself to know why. Meet me at Rodney's.
You mean your acting coach?
You're feeling very relaxed, Frank. Very sleepy. The sound of my voice lulls you into another place, and your conscious mind penetrates inward, layer after layer, like an onion.
Look, I'm sorry, I can't concentrate. All this talk about onion layers and penetration, it reminds me of someone who cries during sex. It's just awkward.
Try to take this seriously, Frank.
I've had just about enough of this. I do not want to be hypnotized. Who cares if there's some kind of cosmic significance to my miraculous resurrection? Start a church after me or something. Make yourself useful.
That's more like it, Frank. Why don't you sit down?
What did you do to him?
Scopolamine, aka the devil's breath. It absolutely annihilates his free will and conscious mind. He is now a slave to my will.
That's racist.
He's fallen into a deep trance. You're not going to get much out of him now.
Not when we're this close.
I recently discovered that just the right amount of Tulku Cola temporarily enhances my abilities to astral project. I'm going in.
What are you doing? Frank Gaines.
I am Duke Flores, ruler of the film industry of hell. I shall use my infernal powers to restore thy earthly form. You have used thy station and thine influence to ensure that a film that shall be written, produced, and directed by Tulku Dorje is made in the way that has been prescribed by the Dark Lord.
Dorje, wake up. Come on, Tulku.
You think he needs medical attention?
Now, last time he drank that shit, he was back in no time.
Looks like he's coming to. Now take it easy, Tulku.
So did you get what you want out of me?
I know enough. I know that you're gonna try to influence me into making what heaven looks like some demon-inspired, apocalyptic cinema spell.
What?
I think I've drawn my conclusion, Gaines. You're to have no further involvement with what heaven looks like. You're fired.
Now, what makes you think I even want to be involved in this piece of shit movie anyway? You know, did you think that maybe you saw what you meant to see in my mind?
Like how?
Like perhaps a gains-free version of what heaven looks like is exactly what the evil one has planned all along.
Maybe you're right. But how do we know for sure?
Well, it's all in the script. We have to have it analyzed for hidden symbolism. Do you have a hard copy somewhere?
It's with the script, Doctor.
And what about a backup?
You know, this Tulku Cola, it's impairing my memory.
It looks like you're gonna have to hunt down the script doctor.
What heaven looks like. Such a long title. I hope they have room for my name on the marquee after it. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Dorje. Here's the hard copy, Ms. Julia Roberts, as per you requested. It has begun.